Welcome back to Justice for Jean Alesi 2 in Formula 1 97, and round 14 brings us to the A1 ring, today known as the Red Bull Ring, in Spielberg, Austria. This was the first time F1 had raced in the country in 10 years after this venue's previous layout, the Österreich Ring, was deemed unsafe. So the track was redeveloped, modernised and made a mile shorter in the process to make a return to the calendar. The track would only host 7 Grand Prix as the A1 ring before dropping off the calendar after the running of the 2003 event, only to return 11 years later in 2014 as the Red Bull Ring. So this single location has hosted World Championship events under 3 different names, 2 different layouts, and 2 different Grand Prix names, obviously the Austrian Grand Prix, but also the Styrian Grand Prix, held in 2020 and 2021 because of that bad thing that happened. In the real 97 qualifying, Jacques Villeneuve was on pole from Mika Hakkinen by less than a tenth of a second, but the real story of qualifying was the performance of the Bridgestone runners. Most impressive of all, Jarno Trulli, a mightily impressive third in the Prost ahead of Heinz-Harald Frentzen, and this was at a point in the season where Prost's early season performance had very much dissipated. Furthermore, 5th and 6th, the Stewarts of Barrichello and Magnussen, and then in 7th, Damon Hill, another fine performance in the Arrows, ahead of both Ferraris. And I'd just like to note that this time Eddie Irvine was ahead of Michael Schumacher. You see, I'm not always mean about Eddie Irvine. It wasn't good for all Bridgestone runners though, spare a thought for Tarso Marquez, who qualified 21st out of 22, only to be excluded from qualifying and the race because his Minardi was underweight. Underweight, yet 3/10 slower than teammate Ukyo Katayama. Ouch. In the Panis playthrough, we managed 5th place. We were actually quite good around here, and I reckon this year, with manual gears at my disposal, I can wrangle out an extra few tenths and maybe get higher. So that is going to be my target, 5th or higher. I've been doing testing sessions and practicing ahead of this one, which you think I do all the time, but I don't, and I think sometimes that is obvious, but this is a really important race weekend. And that important weekend was beginning to follow the same pattern as Monza: wet practice, wet qualifying. Would we have a wet race as well? Would it revert to being dry, just like in Italy? Got some good times in early, going quicker still at the end of lap 4, but something was bothering me. At no point has anyone other than me been on the timing, so I want to see where everyone else is. Let's go on monsoons if I decide to go out again. Oh, well, my lord, Olivier Panis is close. Can't see Schumacher anywhere. Honestly, guys, stop the count. I'll take that. That's it. Pause. Unfortunately, the session did not pause at my request, so we continued out with the fresh monsoons, and even though my first flyer started badly, idiot, I'd noticed something odd. Something weird has happened since I've got in the pits. I feel like I'm reaching higher top speeds. I was on monsoon tyres to start the session, or I'd set it to be like that, but since going into the pits and getting monsoon tyres, I feel like I've got slightly more straight line speed and slightly more grip. Like, how am I only half a tenth down after throwing it off the track at turn 1? That was awful. And yet, this is going... How was that lap quicker when I was off the road twice? Oh, good lord, and I drifted through turn 1. Right, if I put in a really clean lap now, it's going to be game over for you fools. And as luck would have it, that very lap I was on would be the quickest of the session. So as you saw, sliding it through turn 1, through turn 2, that weird kink to the left, which I don't agree is turn 2, then down to first gear through turn 3, and 1.9 seconds up, a very solid first sector. Down the straight we go, we should reach 6th gear by the end, now even in the wet, and then down slowly to first gear through Gossa. Slowly up through the gears once again through turn 5, and then coming up to turn 6, power horse, we're going to flick down to second gear, gentle on the steering inputs, don't want that back end to come round. It does a little bit, but I managed to hold on, and then incredibly 3 seconds up as we go through turn 7, Nicky Lauda. The final sector is essentially these final 2 turns, 9, known as Joch and Rindt, and 10, A1, at least that's what they were named in 1997. We take Joch and Rindt in third gear, and then in the wet we're going to flick down to first for the final corner, and then slowly up through the gears towards the line, and another big improvement. That surely should be enough for another wet weather pole. The amount of additional grip and speed I felt I had after going in the pits was weird, but I should have been on the same tyres. I'm hoping it is enough. We are 4 seconds quicker. It's still Schumacher on the front row. Panis is third, doesn't improve on his time that we saw. It's Berger, Hakkinen in 5th from Hill. Frentzen in 7th, Villeneuve in 8th, so the Williams not far away.
German racing fans are delighted to have a second Grand Prix in their country again this year, and they're hoping for a win from their national hero, Michael Schumacher. Drivers seem to like this 2.8 mile circuit, even though the flow's broken up by the final chicane.
Don't know why Murray has proceeded to tell me about the Nürburgring, which is where I believe we are next time. This game. Oh my, after 25 years, the weather settings aren't paying attention, Murray's just saying whatever he wants, it had enough. In the real 1997 Austrian Grand Prix, Jacques Villeneuve won from pole, but to leave it at that would be doing disservice to another very entertaining race. Off the start, Mika Hakkinen took the lead of the race only for his engine to fail almost immediately. Jarno Trulli also had a brief spell leading the race when out of sequence on stops, and was running second when his engine also gave up. Then there was Alesi fending off Eddie Irvine for 4th place, who was much lighter on fuel than him. Irvine made a move around the outside of turn 2, technically turn 3, argue about it in the comments, and it was a decent move, but then Alesi seemed to just lose it a bit under braking. Him and Irvine touched, and Alesi was sent catapulting over the front of Irvine's car. Then, in the yellow flags of that very incident, Michael Schumacher went for a pass on Heinz-Harald Frentzen. Now Schumacher claimed he couldn't see the yellow flags, but nevertheless he was given a stop-go penalty for overtaking Frentzen under yellows, and it essentially ruined any chance he had of winning the race. Schumacher could only recover to 6th, Frentzen in 3rd. In the Panis playthrough he dropped to 7th off the start, then I accidentally murdered Mika Hakkinen into turn 1 in recovering to 5th, and then spent the whole race having to fend off David Coulthard, and we hung on for 5th. I've got to be perfect, there's no room for error on this track. If I can drive it well though, I think I'm quick enough, even in the dry, to do okay. I'm going to say podium position, let's go top 3 as the target. Assuming it's dry I might lose some places, but I think I should be able to, hopefully, hang on. I knew it. I bloody knew it. Okay. Pray for me. It's dry at the A1 ring. The lights come on. It's not a terrible start. We have dropped 2. Berger's past us. I'll need to get past Berger immediately. Oh my god, I've done it again.
He's done it again!
It's Berger off. Oh no. Flavio's going to murder me. And immediately Schumacher taking off. I can't think about it now. We will have a post-mortem later. For now, I need to keep oh god, Irvine. Oh no. He's heard me. He's heard me talking him. Right. Can't think about that now. Oh, crap.
Oh no! He's lost second place. Into lap 2 now.
Okay, gotta get after Eddie. And the issue is, again, trying to find the limits in the dry when we've not had a weekend there. I have practiced, like I said. That was not today.
Race order. In first place, Michael Schumacher. In second place, Eddie Irvine. In third place, Jean Alesi. In fourth position, heinz-harald Hang on. In fifth, Mika Hakkinen. In sixth, Williams number 1.
Big queue of cars behind us. This isn't good. And it's so hard to think with that buzzing in your ears. What's the hope that there's no team orders at Ferrari? That Irvine overtakes Schumacher. I mean, this is the track where famously Ferrari reminded everyone that there was indeed team orders at Ferrari in favour of Michael Schumacher, so I'll be very surprised.
He's dropping back a bit. We're at about half the race distance now. I'm looking at the race order now. In first, Michael Schumacher. In second position, Eddie Irvine. In third, Jean Alesi. In fourth place, heinz-harald Hang on. The gap is increasing.
See, that was a nice, tidy way to take those last two corners. Not doing it lap after lap, though. Which is, again, the problem. No!
He's losing ground.
No! Bloody hell.
He's just hit Mika Hakkinen.
No, not on that one.
Moved him to third place.
The exact same thing happened when I was fighting with David Coulthard last year. Perfectly alongside, perfectly fair move. We saw a bit of it last time in Monza. Sometimes the AI know you're there, sometimes they just behave like you are not, regardless of how alongside you are. I was alongside him. I think it's the same for what happened with Berger as well, if I'm perfectly honest. It's unfortunate, and Flavio's gonna, like, I don't know, wax my eyebrows off or something, but it is unfortunately a racing incident. It's not necessarily Berger's fault. I don't think it's mine either. Although the replay might say otherwise. I'm seeing it almost like the Panis incident as well. But it's such bad luck that it's sent him straight off into the gravel and gone.
Let's see how they stand now. The race leader, Michael Schumacher. In second, Eddie Eddie Irvine. Third, Jean Alesi. Fourth,
Yeah, that's it.
hang on. As he crosses the line, only 3 more laps left.
We are in big trouble, and I've got Williams climbing all over me. That collision with me has dropped Hakkinen back a bit. Ron Dennis has finally found some performance and slightly ruined by me. No, I don't think it's me again. I'll stay to the inside of this corner. That was a better move.
Beautiful! That's moved him to third place.
We're going to fight tooth and nail for third. It's about damage limitation now. Come on, let's keep him behind. There's an Alesi train going on. It's backing up the field a bit, and it's going to give people a chance to maybe get in the points behind me and change the order. As long as third place stays the same. Got one more lap to survive. Come on.
He's dropping back a bit. It's a win for Michael Schumacher. The Tifosi will be absolutely ecstatic with this result for Ferrari. In second place, Eddie Irvine.
Oh, we survive. We hang on for a podium. But my God, a 1 minute 9.6 was my best lap. That's a qualifying lap. And they were just unreal. So it started with a Benetton on pole, us on pole, and the other Benetton starting in the points. And it's ended in a Ferrari 1-2. Unfortunately, I have contributed to that. It's incredible work. Michael Schumacher wins from Eddie Irvine by 4 seconds. I would like to note the fastest lap, a 1 minute 9.1, which is faster than the Justice for Panis playthrough pole time that was set in the dry. They're lapping lap after lap, qualifying laps. Another one where the AI are just another level. But I can accept that I was also pretty poor in places today. It could have been second instead of third. In fact, I could have kept Irvine behind me as well. Yeah, and like I said for Berger, I think unfortunately it's a racing incident. It's similar to the Panis one. It's similar to the whole AI issue of when you're alongside, sometimes they acknowledge you're there and sometimes they don't. After reviewing the incident post-race, the race stewards declared it a lap 1 racing incident. However, internally, Benetton did agree that Alesi was in fact more at fault for the incident and should have waited and gone on the attack up to turn 2/3, although there were questions as to why Berger didn't let Alesi back past for the title fight. However, with Alesi being more at fault, Flavio Briatore did reprimand him using a bag of hammers. We went from 11 points behind after Spa to cutting the gap back down in Monza, and it's back up to 11 points. God damn it. Decent result for Villeneuve, but he is now beginning to fall away to the point where I feel like he might be out of this. Nothing for Panis or Berger. Panis qualified so well, was gone almost instantly. I think same with Hill. It's a shame they couldn't resume their battle, but Eddie Irvine with 6 important points today. He might still creep back into the top 6, Eddie Irvine, energised by my consistent roasting of the man. 10 points between Ferrari and Benetton, and we stay ahead of Williams just by 2 points. It's still a three-way fight there, 12 points separating the top 3. Up next, we're off to the Nürburgring for the Luxembourg Grand Prix, and at both of our previous visits here we've failed to score points. We really need to finish ahead of Schumacher in whatever capacity. We're over a race win behind again, but I'm disappointed in myself, because even with how quick the AI are around the circuit, it's another messy race for me. As ever, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.